Okay, so a little bit of context, right? If you guys didn't follow this particular drama, so Castorice has a this is a character in Honkai Star Rail coming out very soon, tomorrow I think, right? We're gonna have her be the first character with global passive in the game in Honkai Star Rail. Global passive means that if you get her, she will have an ability that revive your characters, and she doesn't need to be in your battle formation. Out of the 4 characters that you bring in, you are going to be able to benefit from a global passive. Even if she's level 1, you did not build her, she is going to have a very strong presence in your team, in your roster. Now, a lot of people didn't like this particular global passive thing. People are going to say this is very broken, very scummy, etc, blah blah blah. Now a lot of content creators, including Tekkong and Mr. Pokke, alright, Mr. Pokke is also a Honkai Star Rail content creator, you can see, wrote this essay. Now these two, apparently they fought and they argue about this particular global, okay, not this one, but this particular global passive thing, right? Which leads to today's drama. So basically, where does this drama start? I believe it starts with Tekkong not liking this particular one, this particular global passive, because it's bad. It's a bad precedent for the company to set in the future. What if they do something more, something even worse? And then Mr. Pokke said it's bad too, but Mr. Pokke was going to pull, and then Tekkong called out Mr. Pokke on it. Tekkong said, oh, you're going to pull, but you say it's bad, how can you pull? Okay, you're a hypocrite or whatever. And then that's where the drama starts. Okay, so I saw Tekkong make a video. We're gonna watch this regarding Mr. Pokke, but let me watch what this is first. I don't know which one comes first, right? But this is going to be what it is, right? Bittersweet. I can't remember the Twitter user that made this fan art. Okay, in any case, I'm gonna yap a little bit. I was looking in Tekkong's last stream. That means they are no longer friends. So they used to be friends, but friendship has been broken because of this character, Castorice. Who would have known Castorice is going to be the character that will break friendship? Okay, last stream, listening to what I'm assuming is the final time my name is mentioned, and I have this very bittersweet feeling. Oh shoot. Okay, so this is very interesting. Okay. He's taken it upon himself to hold back other content creators that want to talk shit and start drama with me, causing him a lot of shit in the background. Okay, I have no idea about this particular one, right? So Tekkong was protecting Mr. Pokke. I'm not sure what this is, nothing of which I'm aware of. While I'm thankful he's trying to divert these CCs from coming at me, I don't see why it matters to any of us, since we both know all these CCs are irrelevant. Their existence is meaningless to me. Let them chase the latest drama slot with my name. None of them will come close to the influence that I've shared with Tech since I've quit full-time job. If they want to farm views, I have no idea what this is all about. I'm all for it. They are already farming this as we speak because Tech stopped holding them back. This is referring to people like Saint Tone Tess. Okay, I have no idea if there's drama between Saint Tone Tess and Mr. Pokke. I thought it was just drama between Mr. Pokke and Tekkong, but now there's more to it. So not familiar with that, okay? I don't give an F about bro if he made 100 videos, okay? Hope he's happy, okay? I will never engage. So there's been a lot of collateral damage on both parts. I'm glad that he acknowledged his actions have inadvertently caused me issues. So who is he in this case? He in this case refers to Tekkong, I assume, right? As do I. The 6-6 Arle is a poor example. I apologize, I should have used C6 Cantarella instead, even though the point is exactly the same. No one should be morally held for pulling a gacha unit. You aren't a hypocrite, you are a player. So basically Tekkong is calling him a hypocrite. Alright, so I don't know what the whole thing, where it gets to, but I feel like if Mr. Pokke wants to pull off for this character, and it's just what it is, right? He called him bro. Yeah, I'm not sure, right? He believes in pro-consumerism. So is Tekkong still playing Honkai Star Rail or not? I think Tekkong no longer plays Honkai Star Rail, right? Mr. Pokke is still playing Honkai Star Rail. So I don't think it's fair because like one person is playing, one person is not playing. It's easy for you to say stuff if you're not playing the game. But if Mr. Pokke is not pulling and he is still playing the game, right? it's going to be hard for him because he's not going to get the best character ever, global passive. Right? If you're still going to play the game, you don't have this global passive, your account is at a slight disadvantage. Okay? All that from the one who forces Tekkong to delete those who badmouth him. Tekkong gets sponsored by Hoyo. I have no idea if that's true or not. But my point is, if Mr. Pokke is still playing the game, and if he is not pulling for Castorice, he's sort of hurting his account, right? So that's just what it is. But Tekkong doesn't play Honkai Star Rail anymore, as far as I know, right? I could be wrong here. Maybe he secretly plays on his own, I don't know. But as far as I know, Tekkong is no longer playing Honkai Star Rail, right? So I think it's easier for Tekkong to say stuff like, just don't pull for this character. So it's definitely way easier for him to say stuff like that, right? Because he's not playing the game. That's what I'm saying. Now, I'm not saying that he's wrong though, right? So if he wants to call out Mr. Pokke is whatever, alright? He caters to anti-Hoyo. I cater to people that happens to play Hoyo games, in this case HSR. It's just the way as it is. I can see the differences in ideology. Doesn't make him my enemy. Most people on the internet won't see that, especially people who have their own agendas to push. Pushing for agendas. Okay. Very, very interesting. You can pull for Castorice, but not pushing about Castorice drama is a hypocrite. I don't know if he wants to push for drama or not, right? But if the thing about the drama is like, not everybody cares about it that much, right? So you can still say that. I think like there's a level of how much you care about this. Like for me, do I care about it that much? I would say I care about it, but I don't care about it that much because Honkai Star Rail is one of the 11 gachas that I play. So it's not that big of a deal for me, right? I still play a lot of other games. And later this year, there's gonna be way more games that comes out, right? We're gonna have more open world. We're gonna have Ananta. We're gonna have NTE. We're gonna have Arknights and Field. We're gonna have, I don't know, maybe a new Uma Musume game or whatever, right? So there's gonna be so many games. I don't really care if this game is like... You can't really blame Mr. Pokke because Mr. Pokke is just one guy, right? Who is ruining the game? It's Hoyo themselves, right? It's not Mr. Pokke's fault. Like, he's just here to play this game and just enjoy it while he still can, right? It's not a PvP game. I don't see it as a big deal. That's the thing though, right? I think different people are going to look at it as at a different level. Some people are going to say this is a big deal. Some people are going to say this is a small deal. Now, it's not wrong if you think that, right? But I think like the thing that you're trying to force other people to see your point of view, you're trying to force other people to think, oh, this is a big deal, this is a big deal, you have to look at it as a big deal. But some people are not going to look at it as a big deal. That's just how it is. You can never force someone else to see from your point of view, right? And I think that's what, you know, whenever you get that, this is what this person, what both of them is doing, right? I think they are just trying to push each other's ideology or perspective into one another, right? So you can never get the other person to see your angle, and that's fine, right? I don't think it's that big of a deal, but I don't see why they need to like end the friendship because of that. Compared to being called rapist or pedophile, being called hypocrite pales in comparison. But it doesn't make it any less bad, because those are his views of me, and I would never have those views of him. I will still hold my ground against the people that have these moral compasses in the gacha game, but it's unfortunate that it's against tech as well. I mean this on my soul. I was rewatching the clips off stream during my time at Austin with Tech, meeting him for the first time, going to the gym together, hugging for the ZZ Relic role. I got very emotional. Also, they meet each other in real life. Wow, hugging in real life. Best buddies. Actually, they best buddies know each other in real life. Not because we can't talk about each other anymore in order to appease both our communities and the ideological differences. Not because Tech was one of the first and closest CC friend and I vibe with him hard. But it's because I know something like this will never happen again. The next time, if it ever happens, his chat, my chat is probably going to KMS, Ew, Dookie, Dicton. As much as I love to hang out again, we will never see the vibes being recreated unless our communities make a 180 change. Yeah, I can see that for sure. Hugging. I mean like, if they hug each other, there's nothing wrong. I guess they were really close friends if that's the case. Now, can this not ever can they not be friends anymore? I feel like they can still be friends. Why do they care about what the chat think, right? There won't be gacha war, at least not between myself and Tech. It's just a sad conclusion to a story, one that no one could have prevented, as ourselves and communities both stand for different things. The best part, instigators and drama looking for the farm will spin the narrative into some even bigger BS to push agendas and go ultra farm mode. We won't interact anymore, okay? But this isn't content. This is the end of an era from my point of view. Tech, you were never my enemy, never hated you as a person, and never will. I would have moved to Austin. Is that where Tech is from? For a few months after I settled my house, but this is the best ending for everyone in the space. Most people online aren't mature, and CC farmers want to farm. Okay. I mean, like, everyone is going to talk about this because this is kind of crazy, right? I mean, like, it is kind of crazy that you lose friendship if it's actually true. I don't know if it's actually true, or are they just... Do you guys think this is fake? What do you guys think? Do you guys think this is fake? Is there a chance that this is all, you know, like fake stuff? Or is it real, right? Nobody could tell, right? Sounds like he was in love. Most people online aren't mature. Yeah, I'm not sure, right? Most of Mr. Pokke chat are Tekkong hater. I'm not sure if they are or not, right? Because I've never watched them streaming. Tekkong is usually streaming at the same time as me. And I don't think he's streaming today. I don't see Tekkong right now. Usually he streams at around the same time as I do, so I don't really watch their stream as much. Sometimes I will see their videos show up on my, on my feed, and that's pretty much it, right? But okay, this is from Mr. Pokke's POV, right? I think to be fair, let's watch one video from Tekkong regarding Mr. Pokke and try to understand this juicy drama, alright? And we try to get both sides and see what this is all about. Okay.
I knew I would have to make this video at some point in the future.
Okay.
At some point, I was like, okay, well, how long is this gonna last? How long are we gonna take this? Unfortunately, I guess this is it, man. I guess this is it.
This is it?
What am I getting at here?
Oh my god.
I think me and Mr. Pokke, I think the friendship's gotta run its course, man. Wow. And it sucks. I do. I like Pokke, but it's just gotten to the point where it's just impossible at this point, man.
But really, over Castorice? I feel like I've argued with my friends before about like some games or some anime, right? I like some anime, my friend don't like some anime. My friend like Attack on Titan, I say no, Boku no Pico is better. But really, you're gonna lose friendship over that? I don't know, man. Like, is it...
Communities are too heated.
Huh.
The chats are too heated.
I've
been called a rapist, an abuser, a manipulator, a bad friend, a hypocrite, gaslighter, homophobe, transphobe, been compared to Hitler, all that stuff. And
okay.
Yeah, Mr. Pokke was called a shill and a hypocrite. And at this point, I want to let you guys know, as the chat, hey, you guys won. Me and Mr. Pokke, we're done. 100%. This isn't satire. I mean this. We're done. We're not going to interact on stream anymore. We're not going to talk on stream. We're not going to raid each other.
Oh, they're not talking on stream. But they still talk off stream? They're still friends off stream? Like, if it's just on stream, then it's not that big of a deal? I don't know. Like, if they're still friends off stream, I don't know what does it mean by on stream. So if they're still friends either way, I don't see how that's like a bad thing, right?
Or we're just not going to do any of that. He's not going to come on the Gacha cast. We're not going to do any collaborations.
Okay.
We're going to do zero content in the future, so that way you guys can have him. Yep, you got him. He's all yours now. Don't worry about me. I will never be interfering in his life, in his content, directly, ever again. Yep.
You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of Tekkong and Mtash last time. I think there was a drama between Tekkong and Mtash. I don't know if you guys remember. I forgot. I don't even remember what happened between Tekkong and Mtash. They were best friends. One day, they just fight, and then after that, like 2 or 3 weeks later, Mtash just announced. Mtash just said, "Okay, I'm going to stop playing gacha games. I don't want to play gacha games anymore." And I was like, "Wait, what?" Like that. It reminds me of that a little bit, right? That because I thought like Mtash and Tekkong were best friends back then, right? They were like best buddies. M-Tash drama? Yeah, that was the M-Tash drama back then. Or maybe the Atsu one as well, right? I think the Atsu one as well. The Atsu one I'm not super familiar with because the Atsu one there's way more things because it wasn't really Tekkong, it was Braxophone. But I think Atsu and Tekkong has a separate thing. I have no idea, right? That one is like a separate thing.
That's the truth. It's all good. It's all good. Just to keep it 100%. Yeah. Over the past 7, 8, maybe even 9 months, however long it's been since TwitchCon, we never really talked anyways, just to be completely real. Yeah, we didn't. We used to have a pretty good rapport, but chat became like oil and water. It did. Unfortunately, so his chat is a bunch of Hoyo shills, and my chat is a bunch of pro-consumerist, anti-Hoyo people. And it just doesn't mesh. And while that might not be the case for every person in our chats, it's enough of them to where there's just no real way to kind of do any things anymore, man. Yeah, there's no real way.
So it's
and
because
I
of the
think
chat.
That really sucks. I do. And before anybody feels bad, I don't really want to repair this. I don't. I think it's better for Mr. Pokke's career, his analytics, his business to be able to say, no, me and Tekkong aren't friends, because I think when you're that heavily invested in the Hoyo space, I do think it is good for you to say, oh yeah, Tekkong, I don't fuck with that guy. And I think for me...
Whoa.
I think it's...
You got the feeling Tekkong is gaslighting here? I mean, they're no longer friends. What is there to gaslight here, right? Because if he's announcing that they're no longer friends, unless after that, it's just... Unless this is an April Fool's. No, right? It's like 1 day ago. It's not April Fool's anymore.
It's not good for me to have someone else's chat or have someone else's community where I merely just say how I feel, which was, for this example, okay, let's go through the things of why people are angry at me. I said practice what you preach. Now, people are twisting this and saying, you're saying... You have the moral high ground because you didn't pull Castorice. No, this. Let me give you the whole example. Let me give you the whole argument. Let me give you the whole stance. Okay? If you want to pull Castorice, you can pull Castorice. That's fine. However, if you are saying that Castorice's global passive is bad for the game state, and that upsets you, and you don't think it's good that the company's doing that, you shouldn't pull her. Because if you say this thing is bad for the game, and you say you don't want this in the game, then it's not good for you as a content creator to do that. Now, I understand.
But if this person is your friend, like if for me, if I was in Tekkong's shoes, right, if that person is my friend, I wouldn't say that. Because why would I want to hurt my friend's feelings? Right? So why would I call my friend a hypocrite? Now, I would maybe say it off stream, but I wouldn't say it on the stream and be like, oh, you're a hypocrite. Like, when you say that to your again, I don't know, they keep saying they're friends. They keep saying they're friends, right? Sure, your friend might be doing something hypocritical, right? But if you are publicly calling them out as a friend, like, why would I don't know, like, he did say as a content creator. Yeah, that's why it's a bit complicated though. This is why it is a bit complicated, because you're a content creator and you're also friends, right? So it's like backstabbing friends. So I think like you have to also gauge. You of course Mr. Pokke is gonna be mad, right? Because like when you say that towards him, I can see why he's mad, because you are my friend. Why would you say that to me, right? So it's like, I feel like it's quite logical. I can see why Mr. Pokke would be upset, right? Yeah, sure, you can call him out and say that he's hypocritical. Maybe he is, but again, is it worth calling someone something to like try to sacrifice your friendship, right? I think like right now you're putting your friendship on the line, right?
That hypocrisy lives everywhere. And I'm sure there's probably moments where I may have been a hypocrite in the gacha space. I'm sure lots of gacha creators have been a hypocrite in the gacha space, but I don't think I've never not been called out.
Also, why does it matter though? Because it's like, why can't Mr. Pokke, if you say it's bad, he can still pull for Castorice, right? He just acknowledge that it's bad. I don't think there's anything wrong. I personally don't see anything wrong with it. For example, if you ask me, is McDonald's healthy? I'm gonna say McDonald's is not healthy. Alright? It's a fast food, it's very unhealthy. But I still like it. I would still eat McDonald's, right? So why can't you acknowledge something, but you can still do it if you want? So I don't see that as such a bad, as a like, is it that crazy?
Out for it. And I think it's important to attempt to minimize the amount that happens.
Tekkong is a blunt
And
guy.
when all I say
Fair.
is practice what you preach.
Okay.
And why would anybody want to watch someone who doesn't practice what they preach?
Friends
You
do
can
not
get
defend one
upset at
another.
me for that, but you can't really tell me that I'm wrong. And I think the problem is with things like the greedy and stupid thing, the power creep being a player issue, the Castorice's global passive is good for the game.
Oh, he's talking about the previous stuff, maybe. Previous stuff that Mr. Pokke has mentioned before, maybe. It's an ego problem. Yeah, that's the thing, right? You gotta ask yourself, which is the priority for you? Is the priority for you to please your community, your chat? Is it your ego, or is it the friendship right here, right? If the priority is the friendship, then you should try to make sure that that's important, right? That's just what it is.
As a joke, probably. Castorice's passive is bad for the game, but I'm still going to pull for. You know, at a certain point, I think the problem is that Mr. Pokke stands for a lot of ideals that I don't believe in. And I think I stand for a lot of ideals that he doesn't believe in. And I think that's absolutely a-okay. I think we both live very different lives.
If it's okay, why can they not be friends anymore? You get what I'm saying? Like, you can have different ideals. For example, I have friends that are Muslim. Muslims, they cannot eat certain food, they cannot drink alcohol, but I can still be friends with them. So why is this any different, right? Why is this, oh, you have these ideals, I cannot be friends with you?
And we have very different ideologies of what it means to be a content creator. Now, I don't know how he feels, but how I feel as a content creator is say what you mean what you say, and attempt to practice what you preach. That is how I feel. I think that when you tell your audience that you don't like this thing and then you actively support that thing, I don't think that that is good. I think short term, it's going to garner you a lot of poggers and wow, this character is so cool. But I think long term, it's going to get your chat to kind of take everything you say with a grain of salt. And that's all I was trying to do, is just warn people and just say, hey, if you continue to diminish your values, diminish you standing on business, I think you're going to eventually accustom your chat to not taking you too seriously.
Also, what if you can still hate Castorice's global passive, right? But you can still like her as a character. Does it make sense? So if that's the case, it's kind of a different thing, right? It's like a different divergence.
It's really not that big of a deal. If that upsets you, that's okay. I've already sent Mr. Pokke a very lengthy message, and we'll probably talk a little bit in DMs later.
Working class.
But yeah, morals? I just wanted everybody in the comments to know.
Morals, eh?
Don't worry, guys. Mr. Pokke's safe. I will no longer abuse him anymore. I will no longer manipulate him. Damn. I will no longer gaslight him because Mr. Pokke is obviously a minor and he's not capable of making his own decisions. And don't worry, guys, he's safe. Now, for the first time, he'll finally be able to speak his mind because I will leave your king alone. I mean, my God. The amount of forced victimhood being forced upon Mr. Pokke on how he's this incompetent, retarded minor that I've seen in these comments is just insane.
Wait, what? Somebody calls Mr. Pokke what? Minor? What do you mean minor?
Guys, he's 30 years old. Nearly 30 years old. He's deployed to war before. And the fact that so many of y'all want to use your agendas, from the disgruntled Enviosity fans, the disgruntled Atsu fans, the disgruntled Soul of an Artist fans, the disgruntled Hoyo fans, on how you want to make me out to be this bad guy. Congratulations. You've won. Don't worry. Me and Mr. Pokke aren't going to be doing things going forward. You have him. He's all yours. He's safe.
What does that
and I
mean?
hope that you can take comfort in knowing that. But
people are infantilizing
I'm
Pokke.
good. I'm good. So next time a content creator says one thing on the internet and then they do the other thing, and then you want to get angry at me for saying the truth, which, by the way, you can be upset at what I said. You can be upset at the way I said it, but I mean this genuinely. I still stand by absolutely everything that I said in that call, in the conversation.
Yeah, like I said earlier, right? If Mr. Pokke is not I think they just need to talk it out, and if Mr. Pokke is not comfortable or not happy with how Tekkong is calling him publicly, then Tekkong can choose to, not do it, or maybe he still want to do it. I'm not sure, right? But at the end of the day, is whichever comes first, right? Friendship comes first, or whatever, or the morality comes first. I guess in this case, Tekkong puts morality above friendship, right? Because if that's the case, then of course, right? This is what happens, right?
It's on More Tech Tone. You can see the full context there. You can go watch the VOD. I uploaded the VOD. Okay. You really can't find anything that I said that was wrong. Now, it may hurt your feelings, but this whole narrative, me saying that pulling Castorice is morally wrong, I don't remember saying that. Maybe it was a misspeak, but I quite literally said you can pull Castorice if you want to, but for the people who are saying that it's bad for the game and that this isn't good direction for Honkai Star Rail,
global passive,
and you're still supporting that decision, that's being a hypocrite. If being called a hypocrite, if me calling your streamer a hypocrite hurts your feelings that much, grow up. Change as a person, and don't enter the kitchen if you can't handle the heat. It's very simple, very cut and dry.
Morality is grifting his fan base.
It's just been a year of nonstop of these comments. Legitimately, 1 year. And I hope that you enjoy that. And to be honest, I think it's great. We can make the Hoyo community, we can make another Hoyo creator even more isolated than they already were. I do think it's a shame, but I just think it's inevitable.
This is actually real or not?
Yeah.
I kind of feel like this is not real, but it's quite hard to tell.
So before I see another some friend, do you guys think you know anything that happened between me and Mr. Pokke? You don't. And the amount of parasocial freaks that really...
Obviously, nobody's going to know everything, right? Because, like, they could be still talking behind the back. We don't already know, right? This just, they are talking about, like, they are no longer going to be friends in the streamer space, I think.
You want to psychoanalyze this shit. You don't know anything. And so, while I wanted to make this bitter, angry video and not give these people a single answer,
there's no
let me give you this. Me and Mr. Pokke started talking about 2 years ago when he was getting attacked by r/Jingyuan mains. Okay? Because he said Jingyuan was a minion.
Mains.
I saw him as a guy who needed help. I had his back. He had me as a friend on Discord. He told me he's watched me for a while. And I said, I appreciate that. And then I said, if you need any help, I got you. He asked me for help.
Okay.
I gave him advice. He did what I said. And he came out on top. I was proud of him. Rated him whenever I could. And he, in turn, also rated me back. And I appreciated that. I talked to Mr. Pokke for a while. And he always told me that he loves content creation. And he loves doing what he's doing.
That's good.
And he asked me for any tips on how to make this a full-time content creator. And I said, Mr. Pokke, I believe in your content. I believe in you. I think you have great content. I think you have a great
So that's 2 years ago.
In terms of content creation. And I want to help you go full-time. I'm going to help you get into Mythic Talent. And I did. I got him to Mythic Talent, and that provided him the financial security to go full-time streamer, full-time content creator.
Okay.
I believe it increases revenue, most likely by somewhere between 80 to 120%.
Interesting.
Which is enough for him to survive and push the limits of his content creation, and which he did. Now Mr. Pokke is averaging 2,000 viewers on Twitch. as well as probably like 1,600 on YouTube. Technically, Mr. Pokke almost gets more viewers than me on both platforms now when you add them together. And I think that's great. And he's done very well.
Okay.
He had some issues with some other creators. He had some issues with creators like Saint Tontas. I told him, don't worry.
He's taking credit for his success. I don't know if he is or not. Yeah, what is all of this for? Like the numbers, the viewers. What does this have anything to do with the Castorice drama, right? This has nothing to do with the Castorice drama.
Issue's gone. Every issue, every creator that's had with Mr. Pokke, or every creator that had an issue with Mr. Pokke, I said, hey man, he's having a bad day. He's probably just shaking up from the war. Just leave him alone. Give him some space. Don't drop that video. And I would go behind the scenes, policing every single person who tried to give him an issue, any person who would try to harass him, or merely maybe go a little bit too hard
Mr.
on
Pokke.
And I took care of all that.
Also, this screamer is so cool. Can this move?
I did. I invited him to my house. We hung out in real life. I hopefully provided him one of the funnest weeks that he's had outside of Singapore.
Wow.
And I really treated him like a friend because he was a friend. But it's just to the point where I just can't deal with this again. I just can't.
Why?
It's not worth fighting for. The communities will never get along.
Damn.
It's fine.
It's over?
It's just not worth it.
Wow.
It's really, really, really not. And I think that our communication skills with each other is fucking terrible. Mr. Pokke doesn't understand analogies at all. Okay. And I'm a guy that uses a lot of analogies. You know, I'm a very pro-consumerist content creator, and I think he's just a for-fun content creator. It's completely fine. I don't want anybody to feel bad or feel sad about this. But just know, don't worry, guys. We're done. Okay? I just want to not have a headache anymore. I've had to end so many fucking streams early due to this shit.
Okay, apparently it's over. It's over, they are done. Alright, he's been saying, I think there's nothing more, right? The rest of the stuff seems irrelevant. But anyway, yeah, that's the Honkai Star Rail drama. Alright, all thanks to this character. Castorice. Alright, Castorice did that. Who would have thought, right? Wow. Who would have thought, right? Didn't realize Tekkong is so nice to help Mr. Pokke go full time. I'm not sure, right? I'm not sure if it's entirely true, because it's like you're only hearing from one side, you gotta hear from both sides. But yeah, these things can be way more complicated than it sounds. But they are best friends now because of one character, and that friendship is ruined because Tekkong has moral. Moral is important. Mr. Pokke is for fun. But they don't agree with each other. There's no like, they don't see eye to eye with this particular global passive thing. I feel like they can still be friends, right? I don't know. It's a bit, yeah, it's a bit, I didn't know that this thing can cause people to lose friendship. But you know what? It could be more, right? It could be like people are stirring up drama between the community and stuff, right?